we're back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show, and Jessica's here from the chamber. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful, Gene.
So you saw this Parade magazine.
Yeah, I saw it, and it was upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought you had a real magazine from 1971. I'm like, what in the world? And then you said no, it's not.
It's was last Sunday's.
Okay.
And I think it's in the Roswell paper. That's the only paper we still take is the Roswell paper.
Yeah.
We don't take any other papers, but we take the Roswell paper. And so they have the Parade magazine. So it's what we were watching 50 years ago in 1971.
Oh, I see.
So
okay.
You know who that is on the cover? Do you know who those two people are?
I don't. Oh, Sonny and Cher.
Sonny and Cher. So that's Sonny, that's Cher.
I love her dress. It's beautiful.
Does she look anything like that today?
No. However, she's had a lot of work done, but I think she's
had a lot of work done.
She's still a great actress.
There you go. So what were we watching 50 years ago in 1971?
You'll have to tell me.
Columbo. With Peter Falk, the drab coat-covered detective that seemed odd and dense, that always knew what was going on and caught the criminal at the end. All in the Family. Archie Bunker and Edith. Meathead. Do you know who that is? That guy, that actor?
I can't see that far. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's Rob Reiner.
Oh.
So one of his first acting gigs was on television as the Polish guy that wanted to marry Archie Bunker's daughter, or did marry Archie Bunker's daughter. And of course, he's a big liberal and movie director now, Rob Reiner.
They look so happy.
Well, they were getting paid. Let's see. What else was on the TV in 1971? There was Sonny and Cher.
Mm-hmm.
There was McMillan and Wife. And that was Rock Hudson and Susan St. James. He was the police chief in San Francisco, police commissioner.
Okay.
And she was his wife. And she would bumble and stumble into situations where she wasn't supposed to be, but would wind up helping solve the mysteries and the crimes. McMillan and Wife. One of the music TV shows was Soul Train.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
The African-American bandstand.
Yes.
So, and then, of course, the Sonny and Cher show, which is a variety show, and they would sing songs and all that. The Waltons. People would watch The Waltons.
Okay.
In 1971. The Electric Company.
What was that?
It was a children's television workshop program. I think it was for after-school kids. Decades before Zoom, kids learned how to read and write on the small screen thanks to this wildly imaginative variety show produced by the Children's Television Workshop as a literacy-focused alternative for older kids to its Sesame Street.
I was just going to say, it kind of sounds like... Okay.
This is for the older kids. They had Morgan Freeman.
Really?
Was part of the cast of the Electric Company for a little while. Some of their highlights included The Adventures of Letterman. Clever animated superhero spoof featuring the voices of Gene Wilder.
Really?
Zero Mostel and Joan Rivers.
Wow.
In one episode, the hero's nemesis, the Spellbinder, devilishly rearranges and changes letters, transforming the word snack into snake.
Oh, man.
The Spellbinder.
That's cute.
Yep. So, so we were watching Columbo. We were watching All in the Family, The Waltons, The Electric Company for the older kids. Upstairs, Downstairs was a TV show. The first drama to weave class dynamics, in this case between the aristocratic upstairs. And the Bellamy family, the upstairs family, and the dutiful downstairs servants in a townhouse in the Belgravia section of London.
Okay.
Kind of sounds like, what was the big one in Britain that was...
Downton Abbey?
Yes, kind of sounds a little bit like that.
Yeah.
There was no apology for the rich being rich or the poor being poor, says Leslie Ann Down, who was 19 when she was cast as socialite Georgina Worsley in the 3rd season. So, yeah, the Waltons, All in the Family, Columbo, Sonny and Cher.
Is that what the name of the dachshund you watch? Columbo? Is that his name?
Caruso.
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 I was close.
They did their Wiener Olympics over the weekend.
That's right.
So
You were talking about that last week. Did it go well? Did he win?
actually, Daphne won.
Okay.
Daphne won the most medals.
Thank you for that update. My life was incomplete without knowing that. Gene.
You know where she really won?
Where?
In fencing.
Oh.
She won in fencing. Could you imagine?
Is that where, like,
dachshund-
she goes through the fence?
No.
Or do they-
No, with the sword.
Oh.
Yes,
I
fencing.
thought maybe they created a different style of fencing for dogs.
No, there was they had a pool with 3 lanes in it, and they jumped into the pool and swam
Oh, my goodness.
for one of the events. And then they had weightlifting, and they took a stick with some foam weights on it, and they had them try to lift the weights.
With their noses?
No, with the mouth. They pick up with their mouth.
Oh, with the mouth. Okay.
Yeah. Then they had wrestling, and the 2 dogs were wrestling around like crazy.
Okay.
They had the fencing. Then they had the high dive.
How did they do fencing? They held it with their mouth?
Well,
Or it was just like
they're very
attached to
creative
one
with
of their,
their.
like...
Yeah, it was attached to them. They had their costumes, and actually, this costume that Daphne wore was seen in a previous video as her beekeeper's outfit.
Okay.
So she's got the beekeeper's outfit with the sword, and so she's barking and running up at the guy, and they're sitting there doing that. So she won the fencing.
Okay.
Then they had the long dog long jump,
Yep.
and then they
Did
had
she win that?
no, Crusoe won that one.
Yeah.
And then they had the dash, the dachshund dash. So they had all the events, and
Nice.
after each event, they get their medals.
Nice. That's funny.
People are too much time on their hands
Yeah.
doing this stuff.
But it's obviously it's getting views. It's getting watched.
Oh
right?
yeah. We watched the mechanic, the guy's from Minnesota, but he's moving to Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
And a year and a half ago, he dug a 1970 Cadillac.
Okay.
Big white 4-door white leather seats.
Wow.
It was sitting in a field. It had sunk into the ground. Hadn't been driven for 20 years. And he dug it out of the ground, and he's fixed it up, and they went on a 2,000-mile journey with his family. Three kids in the back, he and his wife.
Wow.
So we're watching to see if the car will make it 2,000 miles. A 1970 Cadillac. They were all excited. It was getting 14 miles to the gallon.
Hey. I mean, I'm sure there's trucks on the road that are newer than that barely get 14 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
Here in Artesia.
In Artesia. But this is an old Cadillac.
That's cool.
Anyway,
That's
enough
awesome.
of my boring stuff. We have... we're going to talk about chamber stuff?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Can we do the news break first,
Yeah,
and then we'll
do the
get into
news.
it? All right, we're going to do the news. I'm going to stop talking about my boring life. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update.